from the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, November 3rd, 2015. I'm Ann Gownley. It's a crowded election ballot today. The biggest statewide race is for an unprecedented 3 seats on the state Supreme Court. The Democrats looking for those seats are David Weck, Kevin Dougherty, and Christine Donahue. The Republicans are Mike George, Ann Covey, and Judy Olson. And there is an independent, Paul Panepinto. There are also races for Superior and Commonwealth Court. The hottest local races are for mayor in Hazleton and Wilkes-Barre, along with city council races in both. Another hot race is for Luzerne County DA, with incumbent Stephanie Salavantis facing a challenger for County Solicitor Vito DeLuca. There are also school board races around the region, and there's a crowded race for Luzerne County Council. Despite the list of names on the ballot, most observers are expecting a turnout no higher than 30%. Well, Election Day is upon us, and there was no excuse not to get out and vote with today's weather. WYLN's Gary Perna has more on how voting was going in our area today.
The weather is not stopping anyone from going out to vote. The sun is shining, and it felt more like August than November. In Hazleton, above average turnout is expected with the Hazleton mayor race and 2 seats up for council. At the Southside Fire Station polling place in the city, they were seeing more people coming out because of the mayor race.
Right now we have 137 that came to vote, and we approximately have about 858 registered voters. So 3 hours in, that's pretty good, and we usually will get at least a 20% turnout.
According to election officials in the city, the ballot is in both English and Spanish.
We do have the option on the booth to have it in Spanish or in English. So, and there's also a handicapped one that would actually, it connects to headphones, and it will read to you of what's on the ballot.
And if you're not sure what to do, they will assist you.
We do. We have it all on the board. On the back walls, we have everybody that's on the ballot, and you could preview it there, or one of the girls will give you the step-by-step instructions.
Over to City Hall, where 2 other wards vote, their turnout there was about normal at midday. We caught up with one judge of elections.
Well, the race is for the mayor of the city of Hazleton. Turnout, we have 1,240 people registered, and just before I came out to do this interview, there were 85 people who had come to vote, which is just under 7% of our total voters. The voters have been coming in on a steady stream, so we're hoping that it will continue through the day and the evening. We have not ever been busy, but we have had a few people standing in line, and as I said, it is continuous.
In Hazel Township, it was business as usual at both the fire station voting area and the Hazel Township Commons building area. Down to Cunningham, where at 11:30 this morning, they were up to about 153 voters. Over in McAdoo, voter turnout this afternoon was a little slow, but more are expected tonight before the polls close. Residents in the borough are picking 4 council members. And in neighboring Klein Township, there was not a big rush this morning into this afternoon. Over 100 people voted by lunchtime, and another 100 is expected before the end of the day. Remember, polling places will close at 8 p.m., so make sure you get out and exercise your right to vote. And remember, for all your election coverage, tune in to the #1 team right here at WYLN. We'll have all the information for you beginning at 8 p.m. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Gary Perna.
Well, thank you, Gary. Testimony got underway today in the double murder trial of 33-year-old James Roach. He's accused of and charged of the murders of 73-year-old Ronald Barney Evans and his son, 43-year-old Jeffrey Evans, at their home in Hunlock Township in April of 2014. The prosecution says he was angry his girlfriend, Holly Crawford, was prostituting herself to the elder Evans for cash and gifts. Crawford was convicted of first-degree murder in the case in September. The jury is comprised of 10 men and 4 women, including 2 alternates. The trial is in front of Luzerne County Judge Fred Parentoni. An armored bank vehicle rolled over this afternoon in Klein Township. The crash happened around 1 o'clock this afternoon on the southbound on-ramp to Interstate 81. According to officials, it looked like the truck went off the right side of the road and then slid back across the landing on the left side. No one was hurt in the crash. McAdoo Fire assisted PSP at the crash this afternoon. A body found inside a city home destroyed by a raging fire Friday has been identified. Luzerne County Coroner Bill Listman's office says it was 61-year-old Dwayne Lawrence. He lived at 223 Horton Street, the house which went up in flames Friday afternoon. He was reported missing after the fire. A state police fire marshal said the cause of the fire remained under investigation, but said it did not initially appear suspicious. The blaze spread to a nearby home at 225 Horton Street, where crews were able to contain and douse the fire. 2 adults and 3 children were forced from that home. A holdup at a Curry Donuts on Route 309 in Wilkes-Barre Township. It happened around 9:30 last night. A man claimed he had a knife and left a note. It's not known how much money he got away with. There were no reported injuries and no description of the suspect. Anyone with information is asked to call police in Wilkes-Barre Township or dial 911. Congressman Lou Barletta has written to the U.S. Secretary of Defense asking for answers to questions surrounding the, quote, runaway blimp that broke free October 28th and drifted for 4 hours from Maryland to Pennsylvania. In the letter to Ashton Carter, Barletta posed a series of questions, such as how exactly did the 243-foot-long helium-filled blimp, roughly the size of a football field, get loose? What is the status of any internal investigation, and why wasn't there a system in place to ensure a controlled landing in a scenario such as we witnessed? The blimp dragged a tether more than a mile long, knocking out power to tens of thousands of residents in his district. In the letter, Barletta went on to say, quote, while thankfully there were no reported injuries to persons on the ground, my constituents deserve answers as to how such a spectacle was allowed to occur, unquote. The letter was dated today. No word what Carter had to say if he had the chance to answer yet. Residents who believe they have suffered damage as a result of the blimp mishap should call Army Claims Services at 301-677-9076. Well, it's time now for a first look at our forecast. Well, the weather couldn't be more perfect for Election Day for those at the polls and those heading out to vote. Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik's in the Weather Center with the details on the rest of the week. Joe, what can we expect?
Well, overall, not looking too bad. In fact, even if you haven't voted yet, you still got some time to vote yet. No excuse why you shouldn't be voting today. Weather, you just could not get it picture perfect, more perfect for this time of year. It's spectacular across the Northeast. Some precipitation down toward the Carolinas. That's not going to be impacting our weather whatsoever. It has been dry. It will stay dry through this evening and through the overnight hours. Take a look at some of these high temperatures over the 24 hours. Temperatures in the 70s for November. We'll take it, but we do know that's not going to last for very long because we do have some changes in the forecast. But in the meantime, enjoy the nice weather. Temperatures continuing to hold in the 60s. I'll talk about those changes with the complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few. Ann?
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, a look back at last night's Helping Hands Awards dinner, plus a special award we here at WYLN are proud of. Stay tuned, that and much more coming up here on WYLN.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, Gary Perna, Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Chief Videographer Mike Lula, Weather with Meteorologist Joe Garbachik, Sports with Eric DeBerardinis and Gabriella Justin. On Friday, November 6th, the LSC Wiltsey Performing Arts Center will present Elvis Lives On, starring Nick Musician. Nick portrays Elvis through all the stages of his dynamic career, from the hip-swinging 50s and 60s to the thrilling 68 comeback special and the unforgettable 70s Vegas years. Nick does it all. He's got the look, the moves, the voice that will take you back in time. Doors open at 6:30 and showtime is 7 p.m. Tickets are $5 each. Elvis Lives On, Friday, November 6th at the Wiltsey Center.
It can happen over time or in a snap. If joint or muscle pain has taken you out of the game, we can identify the root cause of your problem and develop a sport-specific treatment plan to get you moving again. Over 400 medical experts strong, the region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action. at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
There is something new to look for at your local SureSave supermarket. And quite frankly, when it comes to quality and price for your food, it's the best yet. The best yet means hundreds of items packaged at the peak of perfection and priced for the family budget. Look for the best yet label at your locally owned SureSave supermarket. When you see it, be assured of the great taste at a great price whenever you need it. From canned to fresh to frozen, for quality products at a better price, the best yet, now at your local SureSave supermarket.
The Helping Hand Society of Greater Hazleton hosted an awards dinner and reorganization meeting last night. Our Julie Stefanovich stopped by and has the details.
The annual Helping Hands reorganization dinner was held last night at Capriati's in McAdoo. Members had the opportunity to meet with the staff while the board was re-elected to another term. Executive Director of the Center, Mary Beth Cook, acknowledged staff and board members, along with individuals and businesses who volunteer and donate their time and services throughout the year. Awards were given out at last night's dinner, which included the Samaritan and the VIP of the Year. WYLN TV was honored with the VIP of the Year award. Station owner Pat Gans was in attendance and accepted it on behalf of the employees.
I want to really say a big thank you to Pat Gans and WYLN TV, who received our VIP award this evening, and to Evelyn Graham, who received the Samaritan Award, and all of the other great volunteers and board members that got certificates tonight. And our ambassador, Carl Schweitzer, we're very proud of him.
Helping Hands offers services to infants and toddlers, early preschoolers, along with speech and language therapy and parent-child counseling. It is all made possible by the staff.
I am so fortunate to have, I'm sure, one of the best staffs, if not the best, around. They are dedicated, devoted, wonderful people. And we just work together and love each other and love the children.
There are also many upcoming fundraising events. There will be a Wisecrackers comedy show at the Mohegan Sun on Friday, November 6th. Thursday, November 12th features a wine tasting dinner at the Pines in Hazleton, and just in time for the holidays, there will be an auction on Sunday, December 6th at Edwidge in the Pines. For further details, you can visit helpinghandsociety.com. In McAdoo, for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik is back with a full look at our forecast. That and much more coming up here on WYLN, including sports. So stay tuned.
Family owned and operated, the experienced professionals at Lehigh Tire have served the residents of the greater Hazleton area for over 55 years. From our full line of passenger, light truck, and commercial tires to our automotive services, including tune-ups, inspections, oil changes, and alignments.
Every time I've ever done business here, they've been very polite, straightforward, and the job gets done quickly and right.
Find the right tire for the right price today at Lehigh Tire.
It always feels good to pull my own part. Saves a lot of money too.
I've never actually pulled it before, but I think it's time.
It's environmentally conscious, and it can be a lot of fun.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer who's up for an adventure, then come out to Harry's You Pull It. Pull your own quality recycled auto parts for up to 90% off the cost of buying new. Savings like that will keep more money in the bank, which could lead to even greater fun. Harry's You Pull It. WeGotUsed.com.
Grand Central helps make your place the place. The place where comfort is king and style rules the day. The place where dinner time is family time and bedtime is beautiful. Right now on all furniture and bedding, the price on the floor is the price to your door. No tax, no delivery, no inflated prices, no kidding. Plus up to 36 months interest-free financing. Grand Central, helping make your place home.
Well, definitely was a beautiful Tuesday, a great day to go out and vote. Picture perfect weather. Could not get better weather for this time of year. High pressure in control, the sunshine, some clouds around, temperatures well above where we should be for this time of year. But all good things usually come to an end, and eventually this weather's going to break. But we still got a couple more days to enjoy it if you have not enjoyed it today. No precipitation to deal with from Wilkes-Barre through Berwick, Bloomsburg, Williamsport, Danville. All looking great. No weather problems whatsoever. Temperature-wise, looking great as well. We're at 60 degrees, our live Lehigh Tire conditions. Outside our station in Hazleton, and literally we don't have any type of wind or any breeze. Fairly light. Temperature-wise, very nice throughout the entire state of Pennsylvania, no matter where you go. 68 Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, 65 in Mount Pocono. It is still 70 degrees in Philadelphia, 62 in Williamsport, and 66 degrees in State College. Still in the 60s, mid to upper 60s. Again, wind's really not much of a factor whatsoever. Very nice in the Wyoming Valley area from Nanakoke through Wilkes-Barre, Kingston, and Lehman. Satellite and radar, all is looking well. Storm system down toward the south, some precipitation and clouds, but not impacting our weather whatsoever. In fact, looking at these numbers tonight, dropping down only into the 40s. Tomorrow, we're up into the 60s. Some areas will be near 70, possibly lower 70s. And as you wake up early Thursday morning, temperatures should be in the upper 40s to lower 50s. Overall, very nice. A nice looking Wednesday. Enjoy it, because it's still going to be very warm across our area. Still dry conditions. Next chance of seeing precipitation won't get here until Thursday. May have to deal with a shower, but still very mild. Friday looks like we have a better chance of seeing some scattered showers across our area. But until later in the week and the weekend, it's just going to be spectacular from upstate New York through Washington, D.C., down through the Carolinas. Temperatures well above average. Definitely not feeling like November. But like I says, everything's going to come to an end as we know it by this front that eventually is going to start to get here by the ending part of the week, and that's going to pave the way for a much cooler and chillier weekend as well as we go into next week. Extended forecast looking like this. Over the next couple of days, actually not too bad, mid to upper 60s, still in the 60s for Thursday and Friday. Again, a couple of those showers around for Friday. Saturday and Sunday look dry, but noticeably cooler, especially by the second part of the weekend and as we start going into early next week. Our daytime Pennsylvania lottery numbers: the pick 2, 4, 1, the pick 3, 3, 2, 8, the pick 4 number 7964, and the pick 5 numbers 57595, and the treasure hunt numbers 8, 17, 21, 27, and 30. Stick around, we'll have a lot more for you coming up after these commercial messages.
It's Octoberger. The sale's so big they named a month after it.
2015 Buick LaCrosse, $4,000 discount and 0% financing. Or save $3,000 or 0% financing on this 2015 all-wheel drive Buick Enclave. Save over $5,000 on this 2015 GMC Sierra Denali Crew Cab.
Burger Buick GMC Cadillac, just off exit 145 on 91 in Hazleton.
Burger family dealerships, drive with experience.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicapped accessible with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget. Restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
The trial of a mid-state police officer accused of a Hazleton native's death gets underway today in Harrisburg. Hummelstown police officer Lisa Merkel is charged with third-degree murder in the death of Michael Kasich. Jury selection wrapped up just before 1 p.m. on Monday in Dauphin County Court. The prosecution will contend at trial that Merkel shot Kasich twice in the back without justification when he fled from a traffic stop. The defense says she fired in self-defense because she believed Kasich was reaching for a weapon. If convicted of third-degree murder, she could be looking at 40 years in prison. Gus is back. He was the second most famous groundhog in Pennsylvania who used to promote the Pennsylvania Lottery. He was retired 4 years ago, but now he's come out of retirement. The Pennsylvania Lottery is bringing back the mascot. Television commercials featuring the popular mascot are now running. A change in the lottery's leadership in 2012 led to a change in its marketing campaign that forced Gus into retirement. But the lottery says it's heard from people who missed him, so now he brought him back. Gus made his TV debut in the early 2004 promoting a St. Patrick's Day themed instant game. He went on to appear in more than 50 television commercials and numerous print ads. Attorneys hired by the state Supreme Court to review Justice J. Michael Eakin's email files have told the High Court the content they saw does not require discipline, but they added that shouldn't be interpreted as an exoneration of Eakin. The three lawyers with the Pittsburgh law firm of Del Sol Canova Stroid, who reviewed the file, said it includes jokes that, quote, would be offensive to women, African Americans, immigrants, and other groups, unquote. But with no findings of illegal out-of-court conversations on cases before the court or other legal matters, the Del Sol said that the question is best left for the Conduct Board to reveal. It also said there is no apparent violation of state or federal law. The state's Judicial Conduct Board, which is conducting a separate probe, may find Eakin has broken state rules of judicial conduct. That could eventually result in punishments ranging from a public reprimand to removal from office. Eakin is a one-time Cumberland County District Attorney who's been on the court since 2002. Coming up next, Eric DeBerardinis is in with sports here on WYLN. Plus, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik will have one final look at our forecast. Stay tuned.
Join us this week on Women Today. Hazelton now has a level 4 trauma center. Its coordinator is going to be here to tell you all about it. We've got a wonderful peach Chardonnay from Simply Homebrew. Kathy's going to make an amazingly impressive dish. We've got more winners and a very sweet, dog-loving young woman on the move. It's all coming up this week on Women Today. Join us.
Sports on WYLN is sponsored in part by Burger Family Dealerships, Harry's View Pullet, Fairway Chevrolet, Penn State Hazelton, Barber Ford, The Wire Guys, Tri-County Business Machines, Weatherwood Nursing, Hazel Park Quality Meats, John Diana Insurance, Mobility by Steven, Service Electric, Hazelton, S.J. Kowalski Plumbing and Heating, Coordinated Health, Grand Central, and Third Base Luncheonette.
Election Day. At WYLN Sports, we underwent an intense selection and voting process deciding plays of the week. Here's who dominated the ballots. Hazelton running backs working Daniel Boone. Early, Carson Kinney navigating his way through the defense. He hustles inside the 5-yard line. Then later, with Kinney as his lead blocker, Adrian Otero from a similar spot and a similar finish inside the 5. They'd each finish the drives with touchdowns. Over to Coughlin at Berwick. The Bulldogs' Anthony Sassini, with plans to make George Curry's final regular season home game a special one, elevates for the pick, then gets the rock in the offensive backfield, uses his vision and breaks away for 6, leaving a wake of Crusader defenders. Sassini helped secure the victory for George Curry after 4 decades roaming the Berwick sidelines for the legendary head coach, with over 200 of his former players in attendance. College action on Saturday. A few nights before, TCU quarterback Trayvon Boykin got a high five from an opposing coach after a 6 scramble. This one about 50% of that, but still great moves from the Penn State signal caller, Christian Hackenberg. And then here, it's Hackenberg out wide. Saquon Barkley in the backfield, direct snap, and wait for it. Pretty sure Drake wrote a song about this play that went, jump man, jump man, jump man. That boy up to something. He just spent like 2-3 seconds up in the air. That boy Barkley up to something. Them other backs do not compare. Whoa. Well, close enough. Hack loves it. Barkley doesn't bluff. An amazing leaping touchdown from the freshman. Loses a shoe in the process, but maybe the play of the season for the Nittany Lions. You saw the best plays, now the best teams. We unveil our high school football power rankings heading into the final week of the regular season. We're not really sure who deserves the number 7 spot, so we'll make it a 3-way tie between 3, 6, and 3 teams, Marion, Coughlin, and Northwest. It took 9 weeks, but Jim Thorpe finally showed their flaws. The defense collapsed against Blue Mountain, and things won't get any easier this week at Lehighton. Number 5, Berwick honored head coach George Curry before his final regular season home game, and then the Dogs went out and submitted an impressive performance, picking up Curry the victory and jumping Coughlin in the district standings, making a home playoff game very promising for the Dogs. Blue Mountain jumps Jim Thorpe after a convincing win over the Olympians. Despite an 8-1 record, the Eagles need some help to reach districts and avoid the Eastern Conference playoff for a second straight year. Lake Lehman, number 3 and one of 3 unbeaten teams remaining in the area. The Black Knights prepare for the old shoe game against Dallas and plan to continue to pound the rock after averaging over 300 rushing yards a game through 9 weeks. Lehighton are consistent number 2 squad and consistently dominant, almost a lock for the District 11 AAA playoffs, and a win over Jim Thorpe would guarantee them the spot. The Indians outscoring opponents by 27 a game this season. And for 1 week only, we not so wisely dropped Wyoming Valley West out of the number 1 spot. Won't happen again. The Spartans outscored opponents 228-29 in the month of October, moving them up to number 13 in the state. Valley West 1 game away from an unbeaten regular season and home field in the sub-regional playoffs. Stay tuned. Coming up, Joe Garbacik is in with a final look at the forecast.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer, dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, an outside grill, and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
It's high school football time. Watch WILN for all the local high school football action as we bring you the event, not just the highlights, like only WILN can. Watch the game of the week right here on WILN. We're your local network. For the best in local sports, watch WILN TV 35. The event, not just the highlights.
WILN is proud to announce a huge technical upgrade to our channels that will bring a better digital picture and expanded coverage area to viewers all over northeastern and central Pennsylvania. In addition to Channel 35.1 in Hazleton, you can watch a crystal clear picture in Berwick and Columbia County on Channel 47.1 and in East Stroudsburg on Channel 24.1. And we're proud to announce Pennsylvania's newest TV station, Channel 9.1 in Williamsport, serving Lycoming, Montour, Northumberland, and Union counties. Now more than ever, WILN is your local network.
Hey, enjoy this weather while it lasts. It is beautiful. You can't get much better weather for this time of year. No precipitation, very warm temperatures, well above where we should be for this time of year. Temperatures that we saw today will be similar to what we're going to see tomorrow. But then as we go into the weekend, things are going to change. It's going to start to get cooler across our area. But until then, enjoy it. Nice looking Wednesday in store for our area. And then eventually, we're going to break this weather pattern down. It's going to start to get cooler in time for the weekend and as we start going into next week. Extended forecast looking like this, looking very nice as we head into tomorrow. Maybe a shower going into our Thursday, possibly a couple of scattered showers for our Friday, but still mild in the 60s, a little cooler for Saturday in the 50s, and then we drop into the 40s by Sunday and Monday of next week, and some of those overnight lows will be dropping down in the 30s. But a picture-perfect day to go out and vote.
Yeah, it definitely was. The sun was shining all day. It wasn't even too cold. It definitely, as Gary said in his story, it felt like an August, the end of August kind of day, a cooler day.
It sure did, yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. But if you did head out and vote and you want to know what those election results are, make sure you tune in here to WILN from 8 until 10 p.m., hosted by Tiffany Cloud. There'll be attorney Bill Vinsko on the panel, Bob Stevens, and Charlie Burkhart. And of course, myself, Eric will be out, Gabriella Justin, and Gary Perna will all be out in the field bringing you live coverage as those election results come in. So make sure you tune in here because we're your local election station, WILN, 8 to 10 p.m. right here on WYLN. Have a good night, everyone.